Hi guys, Irina here and welcome back to my channel where I review everything tech. In today's video, let's talk about the Samsung Galaxy S22 Ultra. This phone has been my daily driver for the past few weeks, and so far there have been some things that I love about this phone, and then there are some things that I didn't like. So in this review, let's talk about everything and let's begin. Just a few words about Samsung adding the S Pen to the Galaxy S22 Ultra. Honestly, I was so happy about it. I've always liked the whole idea of the Galaxy Note with quick access to a stylus right in the phone, but at the same time, the Note would often miss some of the features that you could get on the regular Galaxy, so for me, it would always be a compromise. And now it just seems like a perfect combination. No compromises, all the best features in one phone, plus the built-in S Pen. Speaking of the design of this phone, yeah, it does look like the Galaxy Note, and I'll be honest with you guys, I've never been a fan of this shape. I prefer slightly rounded corners, just like on the Galaxy S21 Ultra, and in general, in my opinion, the design of the S21 Ultra is so much better than the S22 Ultra, but I've noticed that as I was using this phone, this design kind of started growing on me, and the thing I absolutely love about this phone is this phantom white finish. It looks so beautiful, it's matte, but at the same time, this finish looks kind of pearly. When it comes to build materials, we have a glass back and an aluminum frame on the S22 Ultra. Let's talk about the display of the S22 Ultra. We have a 6.8-inch AMOLED display. First of all, I love that this phone supports Quad HD Plus resolution, just like its predecessor, the S21 Ultra. To me, it's very important to have a very sharp display on my daily driver. I don't know, maybe it's just me, but if it's not sharp enough, it would be a constant reminder that this phone is not good enough. So with the S22 Ultra, you don't have to worry about it. This display is amazing in terms of sharpness. Just don't forget to change the screen resolution in the display settings for the best experience. Speaking of brightness, the S22 Ultra is noticeably brighter than its predecessor, the S21 Ultra. And also, let's not forget that the new S22 Ultra has this extra brightness feature that increases the maximum brightness. I always use this feature when I'm outdoors. It dramatically improves the visibility of this display, and I love that you can manually enable it when you need it. The thing I don't like is that you cannot add this mode on the quick panel, at least at the moment. The extra dim is here, but the extra brightness is not. But at the same time, you don't have to disable the extra brightness every time. You could just leave it enabled, since the phone would still allow you to decrease the brightness to the minimum. On the S21 Ultra, you have to enable the adaptive brightness to reach the peak brightness when you're outdoors, and I'm pretty sure it's convenient for many users, but if you ask me, I just hate adaptive brightness. I always want to control the brightness myself. But still, if you prefer adaptive brightness, when you enable it, the extra brightness feature just disappears. So I think this time Samsung did a great job making this thing more flexible and versatile for all users. Of course, the display on this phone supports 120Hz refresh rate. Well, nothing extraordinary for 2022, but yeah, this display is very smooth. Scrolling and swiping is very satisfying on this phone. Overall, the display on the Galaxy S22 Ultra is definitely one of the best on the market at the moment. It's very sharp, it's bright, the colors seem to be pretty accurate, so no complaints here. Now let's talk about the camera setup. Just like last year, we have a quad camera on the S22 Ultra, including the main camera, the ultra-wide camera, and the dual telephoto camera. The camera performance on the Galaxy phones has always been one of the best, so I would say on the S22 Ultra it just got a little better thanks to some improvements, and this time around Samsung focused on nightography, trying to improve the photos and videos that we take in low light. If we take a look at these photos taken in very low light, from afar, I wouldn't say there is much difference, but if I zoom into these photos, you will see that the photo from the S22 Ultra looks sharper. Also, we get more details in the photos from the S22 Ultra. When it comes to videos taken in low light, the video from the S22 Ultra looks noticeably brighter than the one from the S21 Ultra, but at the same time it looks noisier. To see more photo and video samples from the S22 Ultra, check out my comprehensive camera comparison video featuring the S22 Ultra, the Pixel 6 Pro, and the iPhone 13 Pro Max. I think this video could be helpful. Now let's talk about the battery. We have a 5000 mAh battery on the S22 Ultra, just like on its predecessor, the S21 Ultra. If you own a 25-watt charger, it will take just about an hour to fully charge the S22 Ultra from 0% to 100, and you could expect slightly faster charge speed with a 45-watt charger. Speaking of this super fast wireless charger duo, despite the name of this thing, keep in mind that the charging will be quite slow because this thing is just 15 watt. It took 2 hours and 49 minutes to fully charge the Galaxy S22 Ultra. This is definitely not the worst result that I've gotten with a wireless charger, but it's still pretty slow. Of course, the S22 Ultra supports reverse wireless charging. This feature is called wireless power sharing on Samsung phones, so you could charge your other devices that support wireless charging. So it could be another phone or your earbuds. Sometimes it comes in handy. When it comes to battery life, usually I get about 6 hours of screen on time on my S22 Ultra. This phone easily lasts me through the day. Usually by the end of the day I have about 40% left. I would say the battery life on this phone feels similar to the S21 Ultra, so it's pretty good. Now let's talk about the S Pen. First of all, when you reach for the S Pen, this clicking sound is very satisfying. So naturally, you kind of want to take it out more often. I know for sure that I can live without the S Pen, but at the same time, I've noticed that once I start using it, it's hard to stop, whether I start doodling or for some reason start scrolling through my Instagram feed with the S Pen. Quick gestures are another thing that could make you want to use the S Pen more often. Some of the features are quite useless in my opinion, but some of them I find really useful. My favorite is the remote control for taking pictures, really useful when my family comes over and we want to take a family photo. And also, I like to use the translate feature. I'm learning Spanish, so it's really helpful when I need translation for some words. The thing I love about the S Pen is the ability to quickly jot down a note right on the display of the phone. Sometimes it's just so helpful. Of course, you could use notes and start typing there, but it would just take longer. At the end of the day, it's really up to you if you're gonna use the S Pen with your Galaxy S22 Ultra or not. But the good thing is that by getting the S22 Ultra, you're not paying any extra money for the S Pen. Next, let's talk about the speakers. We have stereo speakers on the S22 Ultra. When you're watching videos or listening to music, the sound comes from this hardly noticeable earpiece and the bottom speaker. This bottom speaker looks pretty much the same as the one on the S21 Ultra. The only thing is that now it's located on the left side of the phone. Comparing the sound from both of these phones, I would say the speaker on the S22 S21 Ultra is actually slightly louder, but this should not be a problem because the S22 Ultra at max volume is still more than enough anyway. When it comes to biometrics and security features, this phone has an ultrasonic fingerprint sensor and face recognition. Both work fast, so I don't have any complaints here. I like that the fingerprint sensor works with wet hands. Sometimes it's really helpful. When it comes to the overall performance, this unit runs on Snapdragon 8 Gen 1. It has 12GB of RAM and 256GB of non-expandable storage. Of course, there are different configurations, and you can get your phone with internal storage of up to 1TB. So far, this phone has been very snappy. I haven't experienced any problems whether I'm playing games or editing videos on it. The S22 Ultra is IP68 rated, so you don't have to worry about dropping this phone in the water. There is a very high possibility that this phone will be alright. When it comes to the biggest upgrades on the Galaxy S22 Ultra, for me personally, those would be the built-in S Pen and a brighter display. The camera performance has improved on the S22 Ultra, but I have to admit that the S21 Ultra is still pretty much on par with its successor. The Galaxy S22 Ultra is very easy to recommend. It's a great phone with an amazing display, good battery life, and a lot of incredible features. However, if you already own the S21 Ultra, honestly, I would not even think about upgrading since the S21 Ultra is still a solid phone. That's all for this video, guys. Let me know what you think. Are you gonna upgrade this year? Thank you so much for watching and see you soon.